There's quite a lot of public housing in this area, low income, a lot of unemployment.
It's dusk in Sydney's western suburbs. The New South Wales Users and AIDS Association make regular deliveries of clean syringes in the area.
Because you've got some people that, take ice and opioids, and then you've got some that just take opioid-based products. So it really depends who on the person.
Beck has seen a lot over her years in the job, but in late March, dozens of her clients began getting sick.
Okay, so we're at Kingswood, which is near Penrith, in New South Wales. And over the Easter long weekend, we had an overdose cluster of approximately 23 overdoses, but I think the actual number of overdoses was a lot more. It's very shocking. Yeah. We wouldn't expect that many overdoses, definitely not.
Beck was one of the first to raise the alarm about a dangerous new substance in circulation.
And how were people taking it, and what were they intending to take?
Well, they were intending to take heroin, I guess. That's my understanding. So what they were telling me was it happened very quickly, that people were going down very quick. It was upsetting, and not just that, but they're very reluctant to call for help.
Testing later revealed the group had overdosed on a novel type of synthetic opioid called Nitazenes. Some Nitazenes can be up to 1,000 times stronger than morphine and many times stronger than fentanyl.
Nitazenes are appearing in all sorts of drugs, including MDMA and cocaine, non-opiate drugs, and we don't know. I can't answer the question about why they're ending up in those other drugs. Anything overnight? Any issues?
There was a co-block downstairs that had to be transferred here for safety, but no other issues, no clinic.
Professor Nadine Ezard and the team at St Vincent's Hospital in Sydney is monitoring the emergence of Nitazenes.
Nitazenes were first developed in the laboratory when they were looking for opioids in about the 50s, but they were too potent, so they were abandoned at the time, but they're still not being used pharmaceutically anyway. They're not used clinically anyway, but they are starting to appear in the illicit market.
Earlier this year, the new drug brought a music festival in Sydney to a standstill.
We have a quick announcement. We have been advised there is a substance in the form of a red or a pink pill that has been flagged by medical specialists as having serious adverse effects.
2 people had an opioid overdose after taking what they thought was MDMA.
So what we're finding is nitazene is showing up in various different drugs at the moment, and the people who are regular drug users are finding that they're taking the normal amount that they normally would. However, they're now ending up with a life-threatening overdose.
Paramedics say they're seeing an increase in calls for opioid overdoses and are finding it's harder to revive some patients.
We'll give 1 dose intramuscularly, and then if required we'll give a second dose, 3rd, 4th dose until the patient's awake. Last week I worked 4 days in the Penrith area and I saw multiple overdose jobs come in, or people unconscious. We're looking at maybe 5, 6, 7 in that space of 4 days.
And is that more than usual?
Yeah, that would be a spike in calls.
It's incredibly important, particularly for these drugs, which are very strong, that as soon as you notice someone becoming unwell, unrousable, shallow breathing, call 000 and paramedics will arrive promptly to assist.
Nitazenes have now been found in every state and territory around the country, including in fake pharmaceutical drugs in Queensland and through the ACT's pill testing services. This week, the Victorian government warned nitazenes were being sold as cocaine and causing serious harm. There's been at least 16 deaths in that state alone. Australians have some of the highest rates of drug consumption in the world and rely heavily on international suppliers. The world's largest producer of opiates was Afghanistan, until the Taliban introduced an opium poppy cultivation ban in 2022.
Particularly in Afghanistan, that the crackdown there on opium production has caused organised crime across the globe to look to alternative opioid substances.
The AFP says nitazenes are being manufactured in labs in China and India, imported through the post, and cut into a range of substances being sold to unsuspecting users.
Criminal organisations stop at nothing to reap benefits and make money out of the misery of people and communities. They are seeing nitazenes purely as a cheap alternative, so it's purely money making, reckless and dangerous to people's health.
Many of the drugs seized at the border end up here at the AFP's forensic labs for testing. Crime scene investigators now wear special breathing apparatus during examinations to protect them from inhaling synthetic opioids.
If you could take the inner Clipsil bag out and tell me a number of tablets, and then you can go ahead and take a sample.
How many nitazene seizures have you examined?
I think I've been involved with about 3 of them, but our team have been involved with a lot more than that as well. They said that the chances of us having to examine them might increase.
So far, the AFP has made 3 arrests over nitazene importations.
Last year there was a big spike. One seizure was 50 grams. That might not sound much, but with a 2 milligram lethal dose, that's 25,000 potential lethal doses.
So just a reminder about how naloxone works.
AFP staff are also trained to administer naloxone, a drug that reverses the impacts of opioid overdose.
You just open this package and the person who's most likely lying on the ground, you just administer it through one of their nostrils. We'll just pop this at the back of the lab away from where we're actually conducting the examination.
User organisations are working to get more naloxone into the community.
And do you just put one of these alerts in, the nitazene ones?
Even if you're thinking you're just only ever going to do a pill or a couple of lines of cocaine, you really need to be aware that this might be coming at you in the future.
Go and get yourself trained up in naloxone and stock it. You just never know. The thing is, you could take a pill and you have no idea what's in that pill. And without having access to testing, which is what this country really needs, you've got no way of knowing, because ultimately it's the difference between saving a life and dying.